I want to waive my parental rights to my son after I found out that he's not mine. I am 26, guy who has been raising a 4-year-old boy, and up until recently, I believed he was my biological son. His mom and I dated for about a year, and shortly after we broke up, she told me she was pregnant. I accepted it without question and have been there for the boy ever since. Over the past few months, I started noticing that he doesn't really look like me. Friends and family made casual comments that fueled my suspicions. So, I decided to get a DNA test without telling his mom because I didn't want to cause any drama if my doubts were unfounded. When the results came back, they confirmed my fears. I am not his biological father. I confronted his mom about it. She broke down and admitted that around the time we broke up, she had a one-night stand with another guy. She wasn't sure who the father was, but when she found out she was pregnant, she figured it was easier to just let me believe the boy was mine. She said it was a mistake and that she's sorry, but she also insisted that I'm still his dad because I've been the one raising him. I was devastated. I felt betrayed and used. I told her I wanted to cancel my parental rights and get my name off the birth certificate. She pleaded with me not to do it, saying that it would destroy the boy, but I feel like I've been living a lie. I talked to a lawyer, and they said it might be possible to relinquish my rights, but it's complicated. In the meantime, I've been distancing myself from the boy, which has been incredibly hard. He's confused and keeps asking why I'm not spending time with him. My friends are divided. Some think I have every right to walk away because I was deceived. Others think I'm being heartless because, biological or not, the boy sees me as his father. So, AITA for wanting to cancel my parental rights and get my name off the birth certificate after finding out the boy isn't my biological son? AITA has no consensus bot. OP was NTA. Relevant comments. OOP on how the possibility can be if he's not the father when he was with the ex-OOP. We were together when she got pregnant. She didn't find out until after we broke up. I'm not even mad she cheated because that was years ago and we're not together. She knew that might not be my kid and didn't say anything. OOP on if he was there for the birth. OOP. No, we broke up before he was born. Neat. Walrus 3813 NTA. Get that legal process started ASAP. Go see a therapist yourself, even if only for a couple of months, so you know how to talk to the little dude and can wrap your head around this craziness. Recommend this child and his mother begin counseling. Yes, even at 4 so she knows how to explain the situation to the kid, etc. Hard situation, but not your kid, not your lies, not your problem. OOP, thanks. I started the process already, and I should be fine because I have a way better lawyer than her. Reporteress on Reddit. If she carried this lie for this long, she is capable of far worse. Should is pegging you for child support. With your name being on the birth certificate and you being the present father, she can do some serious financial damage to you. And it could take a while and thousands of dollars before you can get free of the entire situation. Courts will not recognize privately done tests, so get a court-ordered test done. That way, you can be freed of any financial responsibility except for that which you choose, and you can still interact with the child if you so desire. NTA. Update, Reddit June 9th, 2024. I wanted to give an update after my last post where I found out the boy I've been raising isn't my biological son. This has been really hard, and I appreciate all the advice and support from everyone. I realized my first reaction was full of anger, but deep down, I couldn't ignore how much I love the boy. He may not have my DNA, but for the past 4 years, he's been my son in every way that matters. I decided to call his mom and have a real talk. I started by apologizing for how I'd been acting since the DNA test results. I told her that my distance wasn't about the boy, but my own struggle to handle everything. I said I want to stay in the boy's life. Even though he's not my biological son, he's still my son. I can't imagine life without him. The thought of him growing up without a dad because of a mistake made years ago was too painful. I promised her I wouldn't walk away. She was relieved and grateful. It was clear she had been worried about how my absence was affecting him. We agreed to work together to make sure he feels loved and supported. We talked about co-parenting and making sure he doesn't feel the tension between us. After that call, I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. By deciding to stay, I felt like I was back where I belonged. To everyone who commented on my initial post, thank you. Your advice helped me see things differently. You made me realize that being a father isn't just about biology. It's about love, commitment, and taking care of the boy every day. Your words reminded me of the bond one have with him and helped me see that walking away would hurt both of us. I'm committed to being there for him and being the best father I can be. Sometimes life throws unexpected challenges our way, but it's how we respond that matters. Thank you for helping me see that my bond with him is what truly matters and for guiding me back to what's most important being a dad. Relevant comments. Squarespare 8723. Just wait until your ex meets a guy willing to marry and adopt the kid. She will definitely use DNA in court to try and strip you of your parental rights. You are dad until something better comes along. You will be cut out when that day arrives. This will end poorly. OOP. I have custody. I'm on the birth certificate. Jasper Jamboree. You can still be involved in her child's life while still protecting yourself legally. This is just to protect yourself from being taken advantage of in the future, considering she did literally take advantage of you over the last few years. Good luck. F. Smirts NTA. You should ask your attorney if there is any value in her signing a statement claiming she believes the bio father is not you. On to story number 2. Cheating ex-flaunts side chick loses his job and she gets graduation dress burned into oblivion. This happened almost 10 years ago, so even if dots get connected, I know I'm safe as per our laws. This didn't actually happen to me, but I executed the revenge. TLDR at the end. My last year of middle school, I introduced my best friend, whom I'm gonna call Lily, to one of my arts classmates, who I'm gonna call Shitty. They dated for around 7 years, all through high school and uni, until she found right after graduation Shitty'd been cheating on her with his classmate from uni, Catty Cat. Lily and Shitty took language lessons at a small school next to a big shopping mall, and after their breakup I went with her there so she could cancel her classes. I'd been giving her grand speeches about how life would take care of teaching the guy a lesson. All this crap. After being done with cancellation fees, papers, and all, we went into the mall for a feel-better dessert. And guess who was there at the food court? Shitty, who spotted me and Lily right away, and Catty Cat, who looked as white as a ghost. Shitty literally dragged Catty Cat towards us, who were both frozen because can you believe it, and forced Catty Cat, who clearly wanted to be anywhere but there, to greet Lily, and asked Lily, "Are you not gonna talk to me?" All the while with a disgusting grin. I pulled Lily from there without a word. We left the mall, walked to the bus stop, all in silence. After I had digested what had just happened, I told Lily, "You know what I said about life? Forget it. It's gonna take too long." I know what I did afterwards was illegal, and only later would I realize how catastrophic it could have been. Lily still had all of Shitty's passwords, bank account, email, cell phone, etc., and he had hers. As soon as we got home, she'd been staying with me since the breakup, I made her change all her passwords and asked her for his emails. That's all I wanted. In our country, WhatsApp is the most used social media, and we often set it to backup daily into our Google Drive or Gmail. Shitty had his backup on Gmail. I skimmed through 2 years worth of conversation with Catty Cat, complete with pics and audio files, and screenshot/cropped out the most interesting parts, such as them talking about sex in the restrooms and emergency exit at Shitty's work during his shift, bragging about how they blinded their SOs to have their escapades. Turns out Catty Cat was married. Now, I was going to send the clippings of doom to Shitty's family, he was their golden boy. But I got a better idea after learning how bad they had fucked up. So I tracked down Shitty's boss on LinkedIn, got his work email, found Catty Cat's husband on FB, and, using a throwaway account, sent them the bomb. Heard through the grapevine Shitty got fired, but cried, literally, for a second chance, and was on probation at work. One more fuck up and bye. Not the outcome that I wanted, but meh. Fast forward a few months, I was talking to my cousin, and she was telling me about how her fiancé's colleague was traveling all over the world, and he recently posted some pictures at a bar made of ice, and she wanted to travel there too. She showed me the picture the guy had posted. Lo and behold, traveling colleague was Catty Cat's ex-husband, Rick. I asked her how she knew Rick, and she told me he was her fiancé's friend and work colleague. I didn't tell her about my shenanigans, only said Rick's ex-wife and my best friend's ex had cheated on her, and inconspicuously, I hope, asked my cousin how Rick was, how it must have been a sad breakup for him, and did she spill the tea? So, Catty Cat had introduced Rick to Shitty during her graduation ceremony a few weeks before I sent the bomb, saying, "Look, this is the friend who helped me with my graduation project." Rick had allowed Shitty and Catty Cat to use his computer at home for said project. Turns out they were fucking on his bed while he was working his ass off to pay for her sorry one, and she made him shake hands with her lover. Rick was a programmer, Catty Cat was from the countryside, and she'd been living in the city with him for a few years. Rick had an awesome salary, he paid for everything so Catty Cat could focus on uni. But one day, he received some evidence his wife was cheating on him, with the guy he'd shaken hands, the same guy he allowed to use his computer, in his house, to help his wife do her graduation project. Rick got her graduation dress, set it on fire, shoved her into the car, drove all the way to her family's home in the countryside, reportedly, dragged her into her parents' house by the hair, made her kneel and tell her mother and father what she'd been doing. Her father was so distressed, he had a minor stroke, and her mother kicked her out and cut her off from the family. As far as I know, last I checked was 5 years ago, they were still in C. Rick threw her out of his house, she moved in with Shitty's family, and Rick, now with his salary bitch-free, was living la vida loca going to ice bars in neighboring countries. And I was desperate. Had Rick been 1% madder, he could have burned her along with the dress. Her father could have died after my interference. I didn't calculate how Rick could react at all. I called Lily, told her all about it, lost my sleep over it for weeks, even considered confessing to what I did. Lily asked me to let it go. What was done, to take this as a lesson and let life run its course the next time, as I'd initially said it would. I'm not proud of it, and even though I don't lose sleep over it anymore, I still feel somewhat guilty. Confessing here is kind of cathartic, though. Subscribe and like for more videos.